guys, welcome to episode 23. What's good? What's going on? It's your girl Michelle in the building today. And I'm so excited, guys, because I'm introducing a new series. And not to say that these episodes will come in any particular order, so don't expect them to be back to back. But the series is going to be conversations or chats with some married people, which is really, really cool because I know that some people who are listening to this podcast want to get married at some point, right? And there are a lot of questions that us as single people have with regards to oh my gosh, how do you know if you want to marry someone and all of that kind of stuff. And so this is a chance for us to kind of get a glimpse into different people's stories. And of course, life looks different for all of us. So it's not to say that your story is going to look like my guest story. So don't expect that. But it's a way for you to get to see what life has looked like for some other people. And also, I thought it would be pretty cool for the summer because we get to hear some love stories and just have a chit chat with some people who are happily married. Yay! So I'm going to introduce our guests today. We have my good friends in the house. We've got Sabdy. Sabdy, what's going on, girl?
Hello.
Hey.
For having us.
Thank you for coming. Troy, what's going on?
Oh, just the good life.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for giving me and the people on the podcast your time. We definitely appreciate that. So, first things first. So you guys are married, yes?
Check.
Yeah,
check.
We checked that box a few years ago.
A few years ago, okay. And just let the people know, how long have you guys been married for?
It's been 6 years almost.
6 years already.
Okay, so they've been married.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Time flies when you're having fun. Okay, so they've been married for 6 years, which is really, really exciting. So we have some people with some experience in the house, which is, longer than I've been married because I'm not married yet. So anyway, so I'm so excited to have you guys. Thank you so much once again. So let's go into the love story, guys. Give us the tea. How did you guys meet? Paint the picture for me.
Okay. We have two versions of the story here, or maybe not. Maybe it's one consolidated, different
We've got
perspectives.
One true version.
I love it. I love the different perspectives thing, which is why I wanted to have both the people who are married to be on the podcast so that we could see how the story is different from both perspectives. So let's go. Let's hear the story.
Okay. I can start. Give it a try and then see how Troy finished the story.
I'll be able to correct the misrepresentations.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we actually met quite a few years ago when I was finishing high school in Mexico City. So I'm from Mexico. I grew up there. And Troy, he was visiting Mexico. He's from the US. So he was visiting Mexico because he was attending a wedding and also visiting some friends down in Mexico. And we met at this wedding. I was a guest from part of the bride, and Troy was the guest for the groom, and we were sitting together. We were just having fun, dancing. I taught him how to dance, and then
hold on. That's not right. Because I still don't know how to dance. So she tried to teach me how to dance. Either she's a bad teacher or I'm a bad student. But yeah, that's true. We did dance as part of the story, so that is correct. But
guys, and I know you can't see my face right now, but I am literally just blushing and just grinning. I live for love stories. So okay, so tell me about the dancing. Then what happened?
Then I stayed until the end of the party. It was in Mexico. The parties go until 3 a.m., 4 a.m. So I stayed there. Troy also was staying all night as well, celebrating this friend's wedding. And then after that, he just asked for my email or something.
Your number.
Oh, my number, my phone number.
I don't even remember. I don't think it was I don't think I asked for your number with any romantic intentions, so there were a couple of things about that trip, right? So the first thing was that you were graduating and you were looking into BYU because you had gone to like a Mormon high school in Mexico City. And so you were looking at going to Brigham Young University in Provo, which is a Mormon university, right? And your parent, like I remember, it wasn't like it was some event that I had gone to for you specifically that took forever, like 4 hours of people talking, singing, doing whatever. And as part of that, then your parents, I can't remember, Paul, my friend, had asked me to kind of talk to you a little bit about BYU or your parents about BYU or something.
Because he was attending this university in the United States.
I had been at BYU.
Oh, okay.
The reason the number happened was particularly because I think BYU. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to chat you up. And
No, because I wanted to attend that school.
Okay. So in other words, Troy, you slid into her DMs as a mentor. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
No, I'm just joking. No, I'm just playing. Okay. That's like the intention was pure. It wasn't romantic. Okay. I get it.
Which I completely felt different. I felt like, well, this dude probably wants something just more. But at that time, I was just graduating from high school. And yeah, like I was in Mexico. He returned to the US and then we start chatting. Back then we used like this, like Messenger. Was it was what we used? Yeah, Messenger.
Like
Skype or something. We use a different way to communicate.
Okay, you know what, guys? Can you actually, let's put a pin in this. How many years ago was this wedding? Like, when did you first meet? How many years ago was that?
2009 or 2010?
2010.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's like 12 years ago. That's impressive.
Yes, it's been a while.
Okay.
So yes, that's why like the technology wasn't the one that it's right now.
Yeah, because I was like, you guys, the story is sounding a bit ancient. Like, what's going on?
I mean,
but we're still young at heart.
And to be like, we didn't really message or talk a whole lot until you got to the US anyways. Like, I think maybe we'd spoken once or twice on the phone, and then you came to the US, and then we started like talking and hanging out. But before then, no, like I think I'd gotten your number, and then we had spoken like maybe once or twice before you actually came to the US. So
okay.
Yeah, I mean, we really didn't have much to do with each other until she got to the US.
And after, yes, I was here in the States. Well, we started like dating and then formalizing our relationship,
which was a whole new culture thing for me, because yes. I guess as a white US American, whatever you want to call it, maybe just dumb, I don't know, but I didn't realize that I had to actually formalize it and ask her to be my girlfriend until like, I can't remember who told me, like, if it was Jessica, Itzel, Paul, or Lily, somebody told me I had to actually formalize it.
Wait. So wait, I feel like we skipped a whole lot of steps here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you meet at the wedding and you guys are not romantically exchanging numbers. You exchange numbers because, well, she's going to come to the school that you're at. So then you go to the school. So then was there a part where you guys were just friends, or like right after you got there, you started dating? How long were you guys just friends for without like the dating piece of it?
Probably like 2 or 3 months, because she got to the US like in September of 2010. So maybe actually like a month then.
Dang. You guys are moving quick.
because so like a month or so, like 2 months technically. I think we got there in early September, and we didn't actually like formalize our relationship until late October. So.
Oh wow. Okay. So then you were friends for like a month or two, and then comes the part, Troy, where you're saying like you didn't realize you had to like actually formally ask her.
Yeah, and it was because like he was talking with some of Mexican friends, and they mentioned that he needed to formalize, because in Mexico, in our culture, even to start like a dating or a formal relationship, you just. But you just need to say it, right? You need to ask the girl if you are male, and nowadays might be different, but you guys need to talk about it.
Right. So it's not like you can't just assume you're not in a relationship, right?
You can't leave it implied. You have to be explicit about it, apparently.
Okay, so was it dramatic, Troy? Like, did you ask her to be your girlfriend in a dramatic way, or it was
No,
kind of like,
not at
no?
all. No, no. I think if you know me, I'm not a very dramatic person.
That is
Um,
true.
if I,
Facts.
I remember correctly, it was in my old 2012 Burgundy Chevy Malibu, um, in the parking lot of her apartments after we got Domino's or some pizza
Oh man, college
4 in the
life.
morning. So super romantic.
Okay, okay. So you asked her, Sabdi, did you play? Okay, not like play hard to get, but like, did you like tell him to like, you think about it, or you said yes right away?
No, I kind of like say yes right away. It was kind of like weird
Okay.
because in Mexico, or how I was used to, it was like,
Hmm.
well, actually before like we start like, kissing, hugging, grabbing hands, whatever, you actually need to formalize the relationship.
Okay.
So that's why like to me it's like, okay, now like we can act like boyfriend girlfriend. Before that I was like, I don't think so.
Gotcha, gotcha. She was like, I'm still on the streets. Okay,
Yes.
so then you get booed up. You guys officialize like the relationship and stuff. So then how long were you guys in the relationship for before the engagement came?
Oh,
5 years.
yeah, 5 years.
Oh, okay, okay. And
Or
actually, Troy,
six
so Troy,
years.
you were
It was 5 years. So then it was 6 years because we got married in 2016 and we got engaged in 2015.
Oh, okay, okay. So Troy, you mentioned you're already at the school that she was gonna go to. So like did you guys have overlap while she was at school in BYU? Was there like a part of that was long distance, or like the whole thing you were in the same city?
Yeah, so it was about 2.5, 3 years of being in the same city, the same university, and
Okay.
then like 3 years of being
Yeah.
long distance because I was at law school.
Oh my gosh. So let's talk about that because I feel like one thing that's really hard for a lot of people in relationships is the whole long distance part, right? So for you guys, okay, you had like the 2.5 years where you were together in the same city. And obviously, I'm guessing you had built like a firm foundation from that. How was the transition to long distance? And like, how were you guys able to like sustain the relationship to the point where you even got married after that?
Well, it's not easy. But I think that we had already dated for a few years at that point.
Hmm.
So at that moment, I was certain that I wanted to keep dating with Troy. It was like,
Okay, girl.
yeah, I was like, okay, I like him. I'm certain that I want to continue this relationship, and I hopefully that was the same for him because we're
Troy, say something. Say
it
something. I'm giving up on you. Say something. This is the part where you say same
was
here.
forced. No, just kidding.
I mean, I wasn't forced. I definitely had a different perspective. It was kind of more like these are my life goals, and I'm gonna trust that. You hear it, it sounds stupid, but trust the process. So,
Okay.
in the words of Joel Embiid, but I'm gonna trust the process. Meaning, you know, I've got plans for my life, and I wanted Sabdy to be part of my life, but I also realized that if it were going to happen, or if it was going to be, it would happen, right? I don't think I'm
Mm.
not. I mean, I don't give up. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna. If I want something, I'm gonna keep going for it and trying. But I'm also not going to force it once you realize it's not gonna work out. Uh,
Oh, okay, okay.
so it was definitely like, I mean, I knew I wanted to continue dating Sabdy. I wanted to be with her, but I was also firm in knowing that I wanted to go to law school,
Hmm.
and I wanted to go to law school outside of Utah, which is where we went to into our undergrad. So
Okay.
it was going to be long distance because I had no desire to stay in Utah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And I love that so much. Like, I mean, I love what both of you said because Sabdi, really acknowledged the part that yes, it's hard, but she had her mindset. And then on Troy's end, I really love what you said about how like you had your life goals, and you also like part of that was like okay, the law school thing, and a part of that was also to be with Sabdi, and you didn't see a reason why you couldn't have both, right? So I think that's really important because sometimes I feel like sometimes regrets can come. Like, for example, if you had decided, okay, I'm just going to stay in Utah and go to law school here because Sabdy's here, like at some point you might resent her. You know, you might be
Yeah,
like, I wanted to see what's out there. So I think that's really key to still pursue your own like
and I
life
think
goals.
that for us was like communicating that, right? Like I was in the point like I want you, I want to keep a relationship with you, but also to me it's important to keep growing in professionally in my personal goals as well. So
Mm-hmm.
for me it wasn't an option to move where to the same school as Troy, or to change my records and move them there. That wasn't an option. uh and it's like, but I want to stay in this relationship, and it kind of like helped me in the sense like, okay, so now that I have a boyfriend and I don't have to worry about sentimental relationship through college,
Mm.
I was like,
Mm-hmm.
well, like I have time to to study, to hang out with my friends, and yeah, pretty much. Which by no means I'm going. We are saying that this is easy. No, it wasn't easy. It was a lot of time that we needed to be like we were missing each other. Like we were going through hard times in a
Yeah.
school.
I mean, so you experience all of the human sentiments, all the human feelings that anybody's going to be feeling. I mean, there are definitely moments where you feel insecure because you can't just get in a car and drive 15 to 20 minutes to go see this person. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
was in Ohio, she was in Utah. No way driving was going to happen for a weekend trip. So you actually had to be a little bit more mindful of how or when you were going to spend your time with each other, which I think actually in reality was better for us because it's like any type of relationship, whether it's a friendship or whether it's a significant other. I think what makes a relationship work is the effort you put into it. And so
Mm-hmm.
us being apart at that time meant that we had to actually dedicate and spend more effort to ensure that we had good quality time together when we were
Gotcha.
able to be with each other.
Yes,
Oh, guys, so
yeah,
much depth. Oh, you
yeah.
guys are so wise. I'm just like, oh my gosh, taking notes, taking notes.
It was, yeah, it was fun. Like I mean, we usually travel like on during vacation period from college or from his law school. We used to go to Mexico together, right? Like because I have vacations, like, oh, I want to spend time with my family and also with Troy, so let's go and meet in
Mm.
Mexico, let's go and meet in Colorado because Troy is from Colorado. So it was like kind of like trying to find places where to see each other, not necessarily in Ohio or in Utah, but it was fun, right? Like to explore as well other places.
Yeah, I
Ah,
mean, to
I
be
love it.
honest, I don't think we actually ever really visited each other in Ohio or
No.
Utah while we were both in law school or undergrad. It was always like in Colorado, Mexico, or somewhere else.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, okay. I love this so much, guys. Like this is just really amazing stuff. So you guys have touched on this a little bit. It sounds like you both had interactions with each other's families, right? So, I think this family part is very interesting because I think culturally, I think things are just different for each culture. Like for example, for me, being Zimbabwean, and that's not to say all Zimbabwean parents or all Zimbabwean families are like that, but I think that we don't necessarily, it's not normal like culturally for people to like just introduce their boyfriends or like introduce their girlfriends within like a few months of dating or whatever. But how is it like for you guys?
Well, I can start. Like for me, well, actually, I
I
was
mean,
first introduced to Troy's family. Troy's family.
mm,
Like the first month that we were dating, it was
yeah,
Thanksgiving
Okay.
holiday here in the States, and I was here by myself, like in a different country without any family in the States. And Troy is like asked me to go to visit his family, and we spent
Mm-hmm.
time with his family. But also, like when I went back to Mexico, probably we started dating right in October of 2010. In January of 2011, I went back to Mexico. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
still in college. I was applying to get into college, so I needed to go back to Mexico for all the um, visa situation that you have to do. as a
Okay.
student here in the States. So I went back, and Troy went with me as well. So
Oh,
I
gotcha.
introduced
Okay.
him to my family. He stayed with my family, and I think that the cultures in our families, they are pretty different. And not just because here in the States it's really wide, the variety of cultures that you have. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
in Mexico as well, but it's a more homogeneous, I will say, than in the States. But in Mexico, I don't know. My parents were pretty open. They didn't have any issues of me introducing and
I mean,
guys.
I feel like your parents thought it was weird because we'd only been dating for like maybe
To
it was
men.
like 6 months at the time because I didn't
Yeah.
go down to Mexico until March of 2011, and so we'd been dating for 5 months at the time, right?
Okay.
And it is definitely different because Sabdy's parents aren't, religious, and my parents are actually pretty religious, and so it
Mm.
was pretty normal for my parents to be introduced to a girlfriend, 2 months, whereas her parents it was like, 6 months, and they were. I kind of felt like they're like, oh, my daughter has only been gone for, 3 months in the U.S. and she's come back with a boyfriend. What the hell?
Yeah, what's going on?
I don't think. Well, that's how Troy saw it, but in my perspective, they were kind of like used to that. I always introduce my relationships to my friends, and they felt comfortable with that. Probably it was like, well, yeah, maybe, but it's like normal, like for them to get to know my significant others when I was younger. So like for them was fine. I think that they felt comfortable. It was like, well, yeah, it's like we have a guest at home, but
I think to a certain extent, I think it's different, right? Because at the time, you have to think about it, you know, it's different introducing a boyfriend from Mexico City who can then go home.
oh well, yeah.
And here I am,
Sleeping
this,
over in their
this guy
house.
is sleeping over in the house, not just for a few days, but I think I'd gone to Mexico for like maybe 2 weeks or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
And it's just
Oh
like,
wow! And the whole time you were at Sabdy's house.
yeah, it was the whole time I stayed at Sabdy's house. And so, yeah, like I think I thinking or looking back on it, I think, yeah, totally weird. I mean, if I had a daughter bring home some guy for 2 weeks after having been gone for 5 months, I would be a little perturbed and maybe not so happy.
Hey, you know what I'm realizing from this? We need to bring Sabdy's parents to the podcast so we can ask them how was it when she brought the boyfriend home. But okay, sounds
We
good.
need a third perspective here because I don't know. Like literally, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. Probably they were like, well, at least she's letting us know and we can meet this guy instead of like being like
Exactly.
planned
Well,
by it.
I also remember that I don't think you ever referred to me as your boyfriend. I think you always referred to me as your friend to your parents.
No, I think that they knew that you were my boyfriend.
Oh yeah, they knew, but like one thing is them knowing and inferring,
You're saying
and
it.
you explicitly saying.
I actually said, like, I had like a private conversation to them a few days after, like, yeah, I'm dating with him.
After he left, wow.
No, after he left, sorry. After like he was there, like after like he landed in Mexico,
Oh,
like
gotcha,
3 or 4
okay.
days after, my mom asked me, so is this friend your boyfriend? It's like, yeah, it's my boy. Like he's my boyfriend. Just to make it
Yes,
clear.
mom, we're slightly more than friends. Okay, but you know what I love about the story? I love that on both ends, it seems like, well, on both ends, your families got to know your significant other pretty early on. So I think that's pretty cool because, while you were dating, I'm pretty sure you still had a lot of interactions with each other's families, between Troy going to Mexico and like Sabdy going to Colorado. So that's really sweet. I love that. Now, obviously, we're going to get to the engagement part, but I think something we need to talk about, which is something that scares, I think, a lot of people, right, is in relationships, people have fights. So, like for your guys' relationship, what did that look like? Like, did you guys have like, fights while you were dating? This is before the engagement, right? Like, did you guys have fights or you guys never fought? Because some couples also never have fights, right? It's like, oh, like we agree with each other on everything. So like, so what was the story there? Like, what was the fight situation? Obviously, you don't have to give us like all the details, but how did, I guess, let me say, how was the fight situation? And then like, even with all of that, then how were you still sure that, okay, this is the person I want to marry?
Yes. Short answer, yes. They were multiple fights, multiple or different perspectives in different issues. Not the issues, but like ways of life. So yes, there were fights, and I think that that's natural. That's expected. I think that you are bringing two individuals with different upbringings, with different backgrounds, different cultures, and that's an adjustment. We yeah, we fought.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that a lot of our fights, I mean, they still most often, I mean, we do fight, right? We're human. We've been
Right.
married for 6 years. We've been together as a couple now for what, 10? What year are we? 12 years?
12.
So, I mean, we still fight, right? But I think a lot of it, particularly at the beginning, was just, it comes down to misunderstanding. I mean, yes, there was language barriers. I speak Spanish, Sabdy speaks English, but there are some things that I say that I don't really feel.
You mean, okay, I think you just switched that, Troy.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
we forgive you.
Well, yeah, so Sabdy's first language is Spanish. My first language is English, obviously, although I don't speak it very well, apparently. So, I mean, I would say things in Spanish that it wouldn't, like, I wouldn't cut me in the heart, you know, I wouldn't feel it. So, like, I could say like a curse word or something in Spanish, and it wouldn't be important to me. But if I phrased it a certain way, if I said it a certain way to Sabdy, she would get mad, right? And that's not to say that all of our arguments or all of our fights were like that. I mean, there are other ways to misunderstand each other, but I think it all comes down to kind of, yeah, I mean, it's, you're with somebody else, and just because you like them doesn't mean you're going to not be annoyed by them or not, you know, be upset with some of their mannerisms. And the whole thing about a relationship is learning how to overcome or learning how to deal with that. Because, you know, finding somebody who is worth, you know, foregoing an argument over some, you know, sock left on a floor is kind of all part of the learning process.
Okay, I like that a lot. I think that it's really good that both of you are like highlighting that, hey, fights happen and fights are a normal part of life, because to Sabdy's point, it's just two different people with different perspectives, right? I think it's more of how you then deal with the fights as they come. So for you guys though, curious, do you have like the same fighting style? So, you know, like some people, you get into a fight and one person is like, I don't want to talk about it until like I've cooled down, and that could be tomorrow. And someone might be like, I don't want to talk about it at all, right? Like, are you guys somewhat similar in that way, or like did you have to like learn how to fight well with each other?
It depends on the topic, right? I'm not going to take the same approach for each topic, but I mean, sometimes I can be, and I acknowledge this, but I can be pretty vicious. Like I go in for the kill, and that's that, right? But then there are definitely other topics where I'm just like, you know what, I don't want to talk about this. Why are we talking about this? It's not worth my time. And neither approach is ideal, right?
I think that we have the same situation. Sometimes like he might want to go and fight and finish the fight, whereas sometimes like, no, I'm done with this. Like this is not worth of my time. This is not a battle that I'm gonna pick, or vice versa. Like I think that we have, depending what's the most valuable, we have to fight. Like each one of us has different perspectives on different like valuable things. So yes.
So if someone says they don't want to talk about something and the other person is burning to talk about it, how do you resolve that kind of thing?
I'm that person that sometimes I'm like, I need to finish this, or sometimes stories like that. Like,
yeah, I think we both are. It depends on the topic. There are certain things where, and I think for me personally, it probably just depends on how right I feel I am, and how much I want to prove that I am right. And yeah, I mean, it really we both do it,
Yeah.
right? I mean, when it comes down to it, we both will sit there and not let it go until we let it go eventually, I guess.
I think
Gotcha.
that
So
like
like
when we,
this compromise of some sort, right?
I think that the compromise that we normally agree is that just move on. Like each one of us, like is like just be with ourselves and think about it, and then probably we will. I think that I'm the one that I like to say, okay, when I'm more calm, like I think about the situation and I'm like, I'm sorry for this. Sometimes it's like I keep
Sometimes.
laughing.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I think 9 times out of 10 in this relationship, I'm the first one to approach and say, I'm sorry.
So funny because
He'll never say I'm sorry.
it's so funny because Sabdi, while you were saying it, right? Like Sabdi's like, I think most of the times I go and I say, I'm sorry. And then you paused because I think you saw how Troy looked at you and you're
oh
like,
yeah, he was
sometimes.
killer look. There's like, no, that's not true. Yes. I mean, I think that it depends. I feel that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. And it's a give or take. I think ultimately, it sounds like either way, you guys find a way to navigate fights when they happen, right? Obviously, like you confront them and you do them in the best way that suits that situation, and someone will say sorry at some point. So sounds like there is compromise, and I'm pretty sure whatever you're talking about now applied to the relationship as well. All right, let's bring it back. Okay, we went on like a detour because I was like, you know what, we need to talk about this other stuff because people in relationships need to know, because I think sometimes people might just be like, oh, this person and I, like, we fight. I don't think that in a relationship people should fight, but hey, I think people do fight. I think it's healthy actually.
I think that it's natural. I think that it's healthy.
Yeah, it's healthy. It's just more of like, how do you deal with that? All right, guys, so let's come back to the love story here. So you guys were in a relationship and all of that stuff. So then now the engagement happens. Troy, were there fireworks? Because we know that the way you asked her to be your girlfriend with the dominoes. I mean, come on. Like, what happened with the engagement story? Troy, Sabdi, who wants to tell me this part of the story?
Well, nothing went to plan. I mean, there's that. so I can't remember how it all started coming together. I'm not very creative. I mean, I'm an attorney. I mean, sure, I can get
what does that mean?
I can get creative with certain things, but like I don't, when it comes to things like proposing or apparently asking to be a girlfriend, I'm not very creative. So I enlisted the help of some of Sabdy's close friends, had some plans. The original plan was that there was a restaurant in Provo where she was at school, and I can't remember what all of the details were because obviously it didn't work out that way. But they were supposed to take her to a dinner. I think they even told her she had to get her nails done, all this other stuff, so that she would be ready for photos, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is like she didn't know I was coming, and they were supposed to go to dinner, and I was supposed to like show up at the restaurant and serve them the food, but I missed my flight.
Oh my gosh. Wait. So you were gonna come serve the food and then you missed your flight. Oh gosh.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So the whole idea, because again, remember, we're long distance this time still. I'm finishing up law school, Sabby's finishing up undergrad.
Okay.
And so I was coming in, I had to fly in from Ohio to Utah at the time. And this is January 2015. Yeah. Which right after we spent a December, and we actually spoke to Sabby's parents, which is a whole nother thing about marriage. Yeah, approaching somebody's parents is
scary.
Is scary. That's a story for another podcast, right? But and so I was flying in, and I had been discussing this whole thing with Sabby's friend Lauda and a couple of their friends, and I was supposed to show up to the restaurant because it's in surprise Sabdy, and then serve the food, have dinner, and then propose. Who knows what the order or frequency or whatever, because I ended up missing my flight that morning and ended up not making it.
Well, point here, because I think that this is important. Troy was at the gate. He was on time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
he was so distracted, probably so nervous. Who knows? But
wait, you're telling me you were at the gate and the people who were supposed to be on the flight with you left, but you didn't get on the
Yeah, this is a whole nother thing. But yeah, I was literally at the gate in Columbus, Ohio. And I totally remember being literally in front of the gate on my laptop doing God knows what, and literally there was this lady who walked up to the gate and started saying, "Oh no, that's my flight. That's my flight. You missed it." I was like, what an idiot, you know? Who misses their flight? And then I heard her say what flight it was, and I was like, oh, that was my flight too. And I felt so stupid because then I had to go up to the lady and explain, I was supposed to go propose to my girlfriend. Can you put me on the next flight? And it was this huge ordeal. And I guess apparently, if you tell a, a story that makes them feel sorry for you, they're a lot more willing to help you. And they put me on the next flight, and I was able to eventually make it. But those plans were all ruined because I'm an idiot and missed that flight.
Oh my God, this is so funny. And Sabdi, thanks for highlighting that part. Because in my mind, I was like, oh, he missed this flight. Maybe it was, I don't know, there was traffic. He missed it.
No,
right?
he was right there on time.
That's another unique thing about a relationship is I'm always worried and paranoid about missing a flight. And Sabdi's always relaxed and super late, and we never miss a flight. Unless it's my fault in reality.
Hey, it works out. Okay, cool. So then what happened, Troy? So I'm guessing you flew in the next morning.
Yeah, I flew in and I stayed at a friend's house. So Sabdi, again, the whole point of this was to surprise Sabdi. So she had no idea that I was going to be in Utah. And so I flew in, I stayed with a friend, and all that time, like this is like one of the only times I could pay for internet on a flight. So I could sit there and text her friends and come up with a plan B. And we ended up coming up with a plan where, because Sabdi in undergrad worked for the university's TV station for their Spanish language network, and she was a host. And so we came up with this plan that they were going to go do some recording that day, specifically, asking questions and highlighting the Latinas at the university. And so her friend Maya had, she was the one who was actually supposed to record, take pictures of the whole thing. So she was there as the what are they called? The camera person.
Yeah,
camera person. Yeah.
DP.
Cinematographer, right?
Gotcha. Yeah, more fancy.
She was there recording, and then Sabdi's friend Laura was supposed to be there, kind of like asking questions. One of her friends, Julia, was there, and it was a nice spot in Provo. I can't remember what it was called.
It was in the mountains.
Yeah, it was kind of at the foot of the mountains, near like an orchard and stuff like that. So it was pretty. And so they were there filming her, asking her questions. And I, like, the whole idea was they were supposed to keep her distracted, and I was supposed to show up and with flowers and propose. And so we actually have a video on YouTube. It's
there is a video.
Not public. Not public at all.
Okay, y'all are gonna have to send me the link privately, please.
We will.
I need to see it. Oh my gosh. So wait, so Sabdi, your friends are asking you just random questions not related to Troy whatsoever.
Yeah, no, yes. It was actually because they came early that morning to my apartment, said like, hey, we have this new story that is developing. Can you help my friend Maya to record? And I was literally just waking up. I was like, I need to take a shower. Like, just quick shower, 5 minutes, which it's not normal for me. But
yes, I know. You take like 40-minute showers.
At least she had her nails done.
At least. So I asked my friends, like, well, I'm just gonna be helping more like on the producer side, right, or the director side, and they were like, no, actually, they are gonna ask you questions. It's like, oh, should I need to do my makeup? It's like, well, I'm gonna do something light. It's not gonna be an important story or whatever. So they were like, yes, do your makeup and do this stuff and blah blah. So they picked me up early in the morning. Then we drove to Maya's apartment because I think that they needed to make more time. I think that Troy was late, or I don't know what was happening. But my friend's like, oh, I need to stop by my apartment to grab all the questions, grab my notes, grab whatever she needed. It's like, I didn't have a clue. I was like, well, it makes sense. Like, this is how stories go. Like, you have a bunch of other things to prepare. So yeah. And then they took me to this nice place. Like, to start recording, they start asking me questions like, hey, how's your like really legit questions, I would say. Like,
okay.
And then I saw Troy like walking towards me with flowers, and I was yeah, I started bawling, like crying,
Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't
crying.
even.
I was like, oh my gosh, like I started like, I don't know, screaming at him like, you lied to me, you lied to me. You say that you were, hired. You say that,
Oh.
and I start like yeah, crying, and all my friends start crying as well. And yeah, he just popped the question. He
Okay,
knew,
well, girl, don't say it like that. I'm sure he got down on his knee, right?
yeah, got down on his knee, and he was shaking. I remember Troy was
Oh.
shaking, and he told me that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me. He was so happy, and it's like, you want to marry me? And I was like, yes. And I was
Oh.
bawling, and I was like, all you guys lied to me because all my friends were there. Well, all my girlfriends. Like, it's not like a huge event, because I thought that the plan that for the prior night was that we had like a big dinner party with all our friends.
Oh,
And
got
that
you.
didn't
Okay.
happen.
So in reality, I think that the backup plan actually worked a little bit better.
I think so. It was like really nice. I don't know. I was like really, really happy. I thought that it was amazing that they were able to record and have this video for me. And it was, yeah, it was pretty nice.
This is so special. What a special story. And I think it's so cute too, because like you said, Troy, right? I think this plan that ended up happening was probably way better or turned out way better than the first one, you know? So, hey, sometimes things happen for a reason. What a cute story, though. What a cute story. I love it. I love it. So now let me ask this question here. So we're going to put a pin in the engagement right now. So, how did you guys know that this was the person you wanted to marry, right? And obviously for you guys, you had like a long relationship, right? Like 5 or 6 years, 5 years or something of being in a relationship with someone and getting to know them. So like, was there like a point where you knew like earlier on, like when did you know? And also how did you know that this was the person you wanted to marry or get married to?
We can start. I
Okay.
think that after 2 years of relationship,
Mm-hmm.
I was certain that I wanted to marry Troy.
Oh gosh, that's
Like
so cute.
like I mean, we were both like growing together, right? Like we were like studying, we were like developing and growing together. But there was like something, like he really gave me peace.
Ooh.
Like it was like I felt that I could be myself, and as a woman, I never felt any restriction or whatsoever. It was like, you do you be yourself, and
Mm.
I appreciate that. Like I just felt peace. I felt like I can be what I want. I can fight with this man, and he's not gonna try to change me, right? Like myself, my thoughts, the way I am. So,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
I don't know. I felt like in peace. Like I met other guys before, and like there is that uncertainty on their lives. They don't know exactly what they want, and it's not that we
Mm.
knew.
Mhm.
Like still like we are growing together. Still like we are walking together, and we don't know what it's gonna be our um, professional or whatever it is in our careers. But I just felt that he was going in the right direction, and that for me that was important. That was important, that being with someone that make me feel peace, and he was goal oriented.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Sabdi is solid and so beautiful. How about you, Troy? How did you know that Sabdi was the one? Besides the fact that my friend is gorgeous. Let's start there.
Well, that was
She
it.
is hot, guys. I'm
That was
sorry.
the
Like,
thing.
for all you men who are listening to this podcast, I'm gonna let you know right now, she is fine 99, but she is very taken. So ain't nobody gonna try and slide into her DMs because her boo thing is a lawyer. We're gonna sue some people. But anyway, okay, Troy, how did you know that this was the one?
So I mean, I don't think that there was a specific moment I can point to. It's kind of funny because I think in our relationship, I was the first one to actually maybe approach the topic,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
maybe like way too quickly in retrospect, which is kind of funny because then as we matured as a couple, I think I became less and less concerned about whether or not I should marry her. And I think that's part of it because, like I said, I don't think that I had any specific moment or point in time where I was like, you know what, I got to marry her. It was kind of more like I think being with her made me think less and less about, you know, having to feel like I needed to marry her, or she was going to leave, right? Or like I don't feel like I felt like I had to marry her because I've got to put a ring on it, or she's gonna maybe not eventually be
Mm,
happy. I think we were at a place where together, at least I felt together, we would be fine whether we were married or not, right? And I
okay.
think that was the biggest thing, where it's like, okay, I don't feel pressure to have to get married, but I feel like it's what we can do to kind of continue growing together. um I don't know, that's a weird way to say it. I don't know how to express
No,
it.
I actually got what you're saying. I think what you're saying is you felt like she was a ride or die, like she wasn't leaving, right?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I don't think it was one of those things where it was necessarily like, I don't know, because I guess to backtrack, I grew up Mormon, and so it's
Mm-hmm.
very common to in that religion to get married and get married very quickly. uh,
Okay.
It's like you were talking brothers and sisters who got married in like a matter of 2 months after they met somebody.
Oh
Uh,
wow. Okay.
and it wasn't, I think while initially I kind of felt that, I think part of the reason I felt that might have been maybe insecurity in the relationship. But as we'd spent at that point, 5 years together. Of those 5 years, 3 were long distance. It kind of just became, you know, okay, I can do that with this person, and so it happened.
I love it. I love oh, and it's so good because both of you have very different reasons, but like it just works together. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah,
oh,
it
it's
comes
perfect.
organically, I guess. For us, it was like the next best step
Mm-hmm.
for our relationship, I guess.
I
Yeah,
love it. I love it.
organic is the best way to describe it.
Oh,
I don't,
it's
I don't think,
organic.
at least
Uh-huh.
from my
I'm thinking of
perspective,
food. Sorry. That's why I got so excited.
from my
Go ahead,
perspective, I
Troy.
don't I don't feel like I had to force it. I don't feel like I was forced into it either. I think that there are certain times where people get married because they feel like they have to, right? They feel like that's the well, not necessarily logical, but they feel like that's the next step that will make a difference in their relationship, right? They think that
Okay.
getting married will make their relationship something that it wasn't or isn't at that point. And I don't think I felt that. Like I felt like, we had what we still kind of have. I mean, obviously we're still maturing as a partnership in reality,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't feel like, at least I didn't feel like I had to get married because I didn't feel those societal pressures in the same sense that I think a lot of people do. Um,
Mm.
and I
I
think
love that.
to me, that is kind of how I knew. Is like I didn't feel like I had to just to get married, right? I felt like I wanted to.
Mm. Ah, so sweet. I love it. I'm here for it, you guys. So yeah, so for you guys, I guess you didn't just allude to it, you actually stated it. So for people who missed this part, so Sabdy is Mexican and Troy is American. And so how was it like for you guys kind of like navigating interracial, like an interracial and an intercultural relationship? And something that's come up, right, is the whole language thing where, someone's first language is Spanish and then the other person's first language is English. So like how did you go about, did you have any like issues trying to navigate the interracial part or the intercultural part? And relationships are different, some people don't have to navigate any of it, which is also completely fine. Just curious.
I can start with it. I think that our relationship worked because Troy actually speaks Spanish, and that
Mm.
was the way that we communicate. And we still communicate in Spanish.
So
But
Sabdi, because I know you personally, right? So uh basically at the point that you met at the wedding, did you
Mhm,
speak English or you were speaking Spanish? Like you guys were speaking in Spanish to each other
we were
at the time?
speaking in Spanish, and that was the
Okay.
language I felt more comfortable to speak
Mm-hmm.
with him. And he speaks Spanish, so at that moment, yes, our communication was all in Spanish. I knew English, and when I started college, obviously I started practicing more the English
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
language. But at that moment, yes, and I think that for me, in retrospective, I think that it matters, right? Like when you are merging two cultures. And
Mm-hmm.
and fortunately, Troy lived in Mexico for 2 years, so he knew about the culture. He felt the culture. He liked the culture, so he was familiar with it. And also, to me, it was really important that he was able to communicate with my family, and he
Mm.
was able to communicate. And this might be different for each person. That personally, for me, I think that that's why I felt attracted as well to him. And I think that I couldn't be with someone that couldn't understand or be familiar with my culture.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and it will be different for each person, right? Like, but for Mexicans, family, it's all. Like, we love our family. For Hispanic cultures, like, we spend a lot of time with our families, and we look approval from our families. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, it was really important that Troy was able to merge in that culture as well. And I think that's why we actually are together, because he was able to do it. Like, he was able to communicate. He was able to understand all the nuances that Hispanic culture can have. So
Yeah, and I love that. And I mean, I can even testify to what Sabdi is saying because a few years ago, when her family was here and I went to visit them, it was so like I remember just seeing like Troy interacting with your family and like speaking together, and I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. It's like I think the whole point being like you had your own family, right, Sabdi, like the people who raised you and all of that stuff, and then you're now marrying someone, but then a big part of it is will they also fit in with your family, right? And so like the whole group, so like your family and then your husband, like you all become one big family. It was so beautiful, guys. I was so inspired. Maybe I didn't say it at that point, but I'm just gonna
I
say it
mean,
here on
it's just
air.
like it might be different for each one. Again, right?
Right.
One of us, and but if you have someone that empathizes with your culture, that is acceptance, and don't want to change anything about your culture and embrace it,
Mm-hmm.
that's how, like, I don't know, that's what I'm still with Troy, right? Like, we really, like, I don't know, we both empathize with both cultures, I would say, like, as well.
We had the luxury of having 5 years now, 12 years together, and it's critical that everybody understand that it's a learning curve. I mean, it's still something to this day that I have to get used to. There's still certain things, nuances that I'm discovering about her culture. She's discovering about mine that influence who we are today, and so it's all part of the relationship as well.
Oh, I love it. Oh, the wisdom. Y'all are hearing this, okay? It's not like once you get married, you stop growing or learning. There's a lot of learning in marriage. Cool, guys. So I'm going to put the cherry on top with this question, or you guys are going to put the cherry on top with the response to this question. So I want you guys to share with us on the podcast what your favorite thing about marriage is, or your favorite thing about being married to each other is.
It's a good question.
So for me, what I enjoy, one of the things that I enjoy the most is that I have a partner in crime. Like, I really have someone that enjoys things that I enjoy. Like, right now, like, just for this audience, we don't have kids. We just have a cat. So we, so we have
the way you said it. Something we just have a cat.
A cat. That's our like main, and that's our baby.
That's your baby for sure.
So I think that, like, we do have like time to spend together. Like, I enjoy having someone like, hey, let's go to trip somewhere, like to do a trip somewhere, like to take vacation somewhere, like to go to a restaurant, to have this experience, to go for a walk, like. And we're pretty independent, like each other. We like to have our me time, our own time, but also we like to spend time together. So I think that just knowing that we have someone there for you, like, that can do stuff, like, where it's like to do stuff, like to support you emotionally, or cheer you in your career, or help you in the struggles. I think that it's just like, it's my favorite part. Like, I have someone that can be there for me.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Troy, what's your favorite part of marriage or of being married to Sabdy?
So I would say it's similar but different, right? In that
Of course, lawyers are gonna do
Yeah,
this.
okay.
There we go. I was like, okay.
I'm gonna copy you.
Well, exactly.
I wouldn't call it a partner in crime, right? I would say the best.
You know, when Sabdy said that, okay, people who don't know me, you know, on a personal, I watch all these like lawyer shows and all these sports things. So when Sabdy was like partner in crime, in my mind, I was like, oh, I don't think she should say this with this lawyer on the call.
Yeah, you know.
Go ahead, Troy.
Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah, but I would say it's kind of very similar to that, but it's having somebody who continues to kind of push you and somebody who doesn't settle, right? Because I think that that's the best part for me, because I mean, you kind of grow up in a society where you're expected to be your best at all times, right? But the reality is that you're not always going to be your best. And so what I like about our relationship particularly is that I don't have to be my best at all times, right? There are definitely times in our relationship where, either myself or Sabdy, we feel, weak. We feel like we don't feel like doing anything, right? But the other person in the relationship will be there at least to kind of provide support or crutch, maybe even more strength than normal to kind of lift you up so that you can actually continue moving forward. And so to me, that's the best thing, because life is very tiring, right? I mean, ultimately you can't give 100% all the time. And so the value of having somebody like Sabdy in my life is that I don't have to give 100% all the time, because yes, there are going to be times where I give 125%, she gives 75%, right? And I, same thing. Times where I give 75%, she gives 125% to keep us moving. The idea is that together, at least we can continue moving. And sometimes, one of us is taking the other along for the ride, right? But we're at least continuing to progress. And I think that is probably the best thing about being married.
Oh, guys. My heart is so full. My heart is just like so full. Like, I think the whole story that you guys shared, from like the genesis of how you met until like, this point in time, which, 6 years into marriage. And like you said, Troy, still growing. The whole story is just so beautiful. And it's just been so amazing learning so many things about relationships from you guys. And I think it's really inspirational too, right? And I think it also serves as a way to like encourage people out there who are in relationships that, hey, relationships do take work, while you're in the relationship, to like make things work and all of that stuff. And you can also, if that's what you want, because there's some people who don't want to get married. And look, I'm not saying everyone should get married, not at all. But for those of you who want to get married, I think this is an encouraging story that says, hey, you can start off dating in the same city, and then there's a long distance part to it. But I think as long as you keep your eye on the prize or the goal, you can make it work. So I definitely appreciate you guys coming here to share your story and to share the lessons you've learned along the way. I am beaming with joy and happiness. So thank you both so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you for having us.
I hear chipper me.
That was the funniest thing. That was the funniest part, because I've done some of these podcast episodes, and so I'll be like, it was so great having you guys. Thank you for coming. And then the people are just quiet, and I'm like, okay, guys, this is the part where you thank me. So this was great. Thank you guys so much. And I'm so inspired, and I'm just so grateful for you guys like sharing your time with all of us this evening. And that's it. Thanks guys for listening. Peace. Ndiwe wandiro ya moyo wangu, ndiwe wandikanganiza fungo zangu.